Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got a completely dead PlayStation 5, no response at all, which usually means one thing, a short circuit somewhere on that board. So let's tear it down and find out what's going on. So this PlayStation 5 I was able to purchase locally on the marketplace. This model number is CFI 1015A. So this is a model with Blu-ray drive. So let's take it apart and see what is going on. I briefly uh, removed that housings and I took the screws already out. So that's going to be easier to remove it. The only thing I want to show you guys is this console didn't have an easy life. Because I want to show you, okay, let's be easy with plugs. And I want to show you that fan, which has broken plastic pieces. So we will have to replace it if this repair gonna be successful. So let's take everything apart and do some measurements. Of course, we have this plugs, so just press at the back and you can pull out the ribbon cable. Same thing here, and our Blu-ray drive is easy to take out. Same thing with antennas. Be careful not to break them out. And let's take this metal bracket out. As I mentioned, I took it apart already, and I briefly have done some measurements. But let me go over the whole process with you. So let's start with some measurements even without taking this out. So let's go to our ohm meter and let's find out if we have a short on our 12-volt power rail. But as you can see on the multimeter, we have half of the mega ohm, so it's really high resistance. So on this rail, everything is fine. So let's try to take this out and we can measure it again without having a power supply. One thing to mention, remember that we have a lot of this thermal compound which will stick to the console, so don't force it, just try to wiggle it. And if you're gonna wiggle it, it will finally come out. Also be careful because we have liquid metal, something we will probably change for PTM. But let me do some measurements first. So as we've done it, but let's do it again. Our first measure on our input, we have 553 kilo ohms. So the next one, let's measure our 5-volt rail. So our 5-volt rail gonna be here. And we have, well, that's 7501. We have also high resistance. Let's move on other coils. Here, same thing, high resistance. Measure here. Again, high resistance. Let's measure our APU. So, because if our APU is dead, we probably can tell this repair will not succeed. We have 0.7, which is low but still acceptable. Okay, we move on here. 8 ohms, and let's find on. This is our 5-volt rail. And unfortunately, we have half of the ohm. So if we're gonna connect our probes, it is half ohms, so it's a dead short to ground. We can also measure all other coils if we have some other shorts, but I believe we have a dead short on our 5-volt rail. So you can see we have 3.7, which is acceptable. Here we're gonna have something close to 25, which is also okay. So the only dead short we have here on our 5-volt rail. So what we're gonna use a voltage injection method. We're gonna inject 1 volt with, let's say, 2 amps, and we're gonna use a thermal camera to find out what's shorting out on this PCB. So now let's solder our wires to the ground and that 5-volt rail. So we can grab our ground anywhere here. Let's solder here, and let's solder to our 5-volt rail. Okay. And I have my wires prepared here. Let's put some solder on there too. It's gonna be much easier to touch them. The PCB. Of course, black wire is a ground. And this red one, our positive. So now we can go to our power supply, find out what's heating up now. So this is our reading. Our board takes 2 amps, and let's try to use a thermal camera and find out what's heating up. So here we have our thermal camera view. You can see my hand here. So let's flip the board over and see. Maybe we will find something heating up on this side. Unfortunately, I don't see any heating elements yet. Let's try to put some more juice. Try to find what's heating up. So we have 3.2 amps. Okay, that's 4.4 now. And I believe we are having something here. Oh. Interesting. I don't see anything yet. But let's give it a few minutes. Maybe we will find it. Okay. Have something here. Don't see any components in here. Unfortunately, I don't see anything warming too much in this spot. So let's try to find some other shorts, and let's eliminate which rail specifically on this 5-volt rail is shorted. I believe we gonna have a short here. Let's go ohms, and we are having low resistance here, but that's not a short. I know that 5 volts is getting in here, So, but also on this capacitors here, let me pick it up. On this one's here, we have 0.4 ohms resistance. So my idea is to switch our cable, and we're gonna make voltage injection test on this pads here. So let me just swap the cable and I'll be right back. So now let's measure some fuses on this board. Fuses are marked as Fs, so that's gonna be easy to find them. Let's start from this side. It's gonna be easier. So let's start from here. We have F7501. We have a beep, so it's a good sign. You don't see it. Okay. Let's go to F77001. We have a beep, so it's a good sign. And I believe these are here, F5401 working, 5402 working, 7003 working, 7502 working. So let's flip the board and let's find fuses here. So we have a fuse 7002, and this one has a big, like large resistance, so it's definitely broken. But if it's broken, so let's find out which side of the fuse is shorted. So is it from here? No, it's an open line, so it's on the right side of the fuse. Let's measure this resistance. So we have 7.8 ohms on this side of the fuse. So let's remove the fuse and let's try to find out what's shorted. So the easiest way to remove this fuse is gonna be adding some flux and covering it all with a solder, and we will just take this out like so. Okay. Holding quite tight. Okay, but it's off. Let's just move the solder in this pad, so it's gonna be easier for us to solder later. Let's clean it. Use some alcohol and clean it. Okay. Let's solder a wire for a voltage injection testing. Okay, I believe I found a heating spot. Let's use some alcohol and find out. I believe it's a capacitor. So let's take a look closer. I believe it's a capacitor right here. Alcohol evaporates quite quickly from it. So let's try to take it out and see if that short will go off. So just to show you, this is the power consumption on my power supply. I had to put this into parallel mode because it was over 5 amps, because each channel has 5 amps. So sometimes you have to use something more. Let's use our thermal tweezers and try to remove this capacitor. Add some leaded solder, so that's going to be easier from each side. And let's lift it. Doesn't want to go. So we can always help with some hot air. It doesn't want to go. Okay, we have it off. Now let's find out if the short is gone. So now let's measure the short. Is here. Oh, you don't see it. Okay. So now we have high resistance going down. So let's also measure our capacitor. I have put it here, and let's find out if it's shorted. Not that easy to measure it, but for a sec. Oh, okay, it's gone. Okay, let's try it again. I found it. It's not that easy to measure it whenever it's not soldered, but you can see it's 0.4 ohms resistance, so it's completely dead. Now we can desolder our wires. So you could see I had to find another bigger spot to solder that positive wire to connect voltage injection. We're gonna clean it after. Let's find out if this short is gone. So our short was on this coil. And now we have a high resistance. Same thing here. 340 kilo ohms. So it's high resistance. So now let's find a fuse and resolder that F7002 fuse. So after attaching a fuse, let's remeasure our resistance on the coil. We had a short, and we don't have anything. It's an open line now. So let's find out if there's going to be any reaction for power. So I have my logic board inside the housing. Let's find out if this will have any reaction for power now. I am not attaching yet any radiator or stuff. Let's find out if it's... Okay, we had a beep. We have a blue light. And let's find out if... let me push it because it's not connecting properly. Let's find out if we're going to have an image because we have a white light now. And as you can see, we have an image. We fixed our console just by removing a shorted capacitor. I'll try to show you under the microscope. So I bought this console for $110, and it's a nice fix. And we have PlayStation logo. Okay. Let's turn this off because I don't want to hold my hand all the time here so it won't overheat. So our issue was this tiny capacitor shorted on that motherboard. Unfortunately, I had to find it manually with some alcohol because it didn't heat up too much with a thermal camera. So sometimes you have to use some older methods. I don't know why it didn't show up. So for now, again, I will have to get a new fan for this console. I will apply a PTM instead of that liquid metal, and we have another console revived. So if you liked this video, hit the like button. If you don't like, hit subscribe, and see you in the next one. Thanks.